nothing like a sinful apple in the middle of the day. In our next play, there's no killing or spilling of blood. There is, however, a terrible and globally destructive flood. But first, Noah will pray to God, who made the universe, made Adam and Eve, who sinned and so were cursed. Noah, a fretful fellow, says he fears the worst, but God tips him off that he'll send a cloudburst with heavy rain, so Noah has a chance to prepare himself first. In God's sight, Noah's family are righteous and valuable, so he promises to save them, along with 2 of every animal. Now that's a lot of species, roaring and pooing and stinking, but Noah's obedience is admirable whenever he's not drinking. All other men will perish wet and sinful and stinking. Noah argues with his sharp-tongued wife, but finally they pause in their marital strife. I tell you, it's a life of permanent strife when your wife has a tongue as sharp as a knife. Noah's wife has her friends, good gossips they're called, and to leave them behind she would be truly appalled. So she fights with Noah, but the rain starts, and finally they both get on board and sail the endless sea. Then hills appear. They send a bird, and from a tree it brings an olive branch. They touch the ground with glee, and Noah praises God for his charity. And first, it's Noah that we're going to sing.
I, God, that all this world hath wrought, heaven and earth, and all of naught, I see my people, in deed and thought, are set foul as sin. My ghost shall now dwell in man, that through fleshly lust is my fog, but till 60 years be come and gone, to look if they will live. Man that I made I will destroy, beast, worm, and fowl to fly. For on earth they do me noy, the folk that are thereon. It harms me so hurtfully, the malice that doth now multiply, that sore it grieves me inwardly, that ever I made man. Therefore, Noah, my servant free, that righteous man art as I see. The ships too thou shalt make thee of trees dry and light. Little chambers therein thou make, and finding mud also thou take. Within and without, see not thou slate to anoint it through all thy might. 300 cubits it shall be long, and 50 broad shall it be strong. The mast of height 60, measure not wrong. One window work through thy width, a cubit of length and breadth make it. Upon the side a door shall sit, for coming in and out. Eating places thou make also 3, round chambers 1 or 2, for with water I think to flow over man that I have made. Destroyed all the world shall be, save thou, thy wife, thy sons 3, and their wives also with thee, and all shall fall before thy face.
Ah, Lord, I thank thee aloud and still, that to me art in such goodwill, and spares me and my household still, as I now truly find. Thy bidding, Lord, I shall fulfill, and nevermore shall grieve nor grill, that such grace has sent me till amongst all mankind.
Really?
Hurry, done, you men and women all. Hurry, lest this water fall, to build this ship, chamber and hall, as God has bidden us do.
Father, I am already bound. An axe I have by my crown, as sharp as any in all this town, for to go where to. I have a hatchet, wonder keen, to bite well, as may be seen. A better ground, as I weed not in all this town. And I can well make a pin, and with this hammer knock it in. Let's go to work, for we're about din, for I am ready bound.
And we shall bring timber too, for we may nothing else do.
Women being weak to undergo any great travail.
Here
flock, on this may hammer not. Shall none be idle in this flock, nor now may no man fail.
And we will go to gather slitch, the ship for to smear with pitch, anointed must be every stitch, board, ribs, and
And I shall gather chips here, to make a fire for you together. Make a fire for you together, and to make your dinner, against you come in.
Now in the name of God I begin to make the ship that we sail in, for that we may be ready for to swim at the coming of the flood. These boards I pin here together to bear us safe from the weather, that we may row both hither and thither, and safe be from this flood. Of these trees I will make the mast, hide with cables that will last, with a sail yard for each blast, and each thing in their kind. With top castle and bowsprits, both cords and ropes I have all meet, sail forth at the next week. This ship is at an end. Wife, in this vessel we shall be kept. My children and thou I would in ye let.
In faith, Noah, I would rather thou slept for all thy Frenchified fare. I will not do after thy rede.
Good wife, now do as I bid.
Why, Christ, not before I see more need, though thou stand all day and stare.
Lord, that woman be crab day.
Excuse me.
And none are meek, I dare well say.
Yeah.
That is well seen by me today in witness of you each
Absolutely.
one. Good wife, let all this be beer, that thou makest in this place here, so that they know that thou art their master.
That's right.
And so thou art, by St. John.
Noah, take now my many, and in the ship hasten that ye be. For none so righteous man to me is now on earth living. And clean beasts with thee thou take, 7 and 7 before thou slake, he and she, mate to mate. Quickly into that thou bring. The beasts unclean 2 and 2, male and female and no more. Unclean fowl 7 also, the he and she together. Of all the meats that may be eaten, into that ship that may be getten, for that may be no way forgotten. And do all this to thee to sustain man and beasts therein, until the water cease and blin. This world is filled full of sin, and that is now well seen. 7 days are yet coming. You shall have space them in to bring. After that, it is my liking mankind for to annoy. 40 days and 40 nights, rain shall fall for their unrights. And what I have made through my mights, now think I to destroy.
Lord, at your bidding I am bane. Since no other grace will gain, it will I fulfill fain. For gracious I thee find. 100 winters and 20 this ship-making carried have I, to see if through amendment thy mercy would fall to mankind. Have done, ye men and women all! Hurry, you let this water fall, and that each beast were in stall of the ship brought. Of clean beasts 7 shall be, of unclean 2, thus God bade me. The flood is nigh, you may well see, therefore tarry you not.
Sir, here are lion, leopards in, horse, mares, oxen, and swine, goats, calves, sheep, and kine, here sit thou may see.
Camels, asses man may find, buck and doe, hart and hind, and beasts of all manner kind, here being as thinketh me.
Take here, cats and dogs too, otters and foxes, polecats also, hares, hopping gaily come and go, here, have tails. And here are bears, wolves set, apes, owls, marmoset, weasels, squirrels, and ferret. Here they eat their meat. Here are beasts in this house, here cats, making traps, here a rat, here a mouse, that stand now together. And here are fowls, less and more, herons, cranes, and bit all, swans, peacocks, and them before, meat for this weather.
Here are roosters, pipes and crows, rooks, ravens,
in rows. Ducks, curlews, whoever knows, each one in his kind.
And here are doves, ducks, and drakes, red sharks running through the lakes, and each sound that sound makes in the ship man may find. Wife, come in. Why standst thou there? Thou art ever impudent, that there I swear. Come in God's half time it were, for fear lest we drown.
Yea, sir, set up your sail. I will row forth with evil hail, for without any fail, I will not out of this town. I have my gossips, every one 1 foot further I shall not go. They shall not drown by St. John, if I may save their life. They love me full well by Christ. But thou wilt let them into thy chest, else thou row forth, Noah, when thou list, and get thee a new wife.
Shem, son, thy mother is Rowe. My God, such mother I do not know.
Father, I shall fetch her in, I trow, without any fail. Oh, mother, into the ship you must come. Father sends for you, you must come in.
Son, go to him again and say, I will not come therein today.
Come in, wife, in 20 devils' way, or else stand there without.
Shall we all fetch her in?
Yes, sons, in Christ's blessing and mine. Would ye haste you betime? For of this flood I stand in doubt.
This flood comes flowing in full fast on every side that spreadeth full fast. For fear of drowning, I am aghast. Good gossip, let us draw near.
And let us drink before we depart, for oft times we have done so. For at one draught thou drinkst a quart, and so will I do before I go.
Here is a pottle full of malmsey, good and strong. It will rejoice both heart and tongue. Though Noah think we be ever so long, yet will we drink a tight.
Mother, we pray you all together. We are here, your children. Come into the ship for fear of the weather, and for his love that you bore.
That will I not for all your call, unless I have my gossips all.
In faith, mother, you shall come in, whether thou will it or not.
What? No,
Welcome, wife, into this boat.
How that will I know?
Ah, marry, this is hot. It is good to be still. Ah, children, methink my boat removes. Our tarrying here me deeply grieves. Over the land, the water spreads. May God do as he will. Ah, great God that art so good, that works not thy will as would. Now all this world is on a flood. Life be well in sight. This window I will shut anon, and into my chamber I will go, until this water, so great one, be diminished through thy might.
Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath bound the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee, for those in peril on the sea. O Trinity of love and power, our brethren shield in dangers hour, from rock and tempest far and foe, protect them wheresoe'er they go, that evermore shall rise to thee glad hymns of praise from land and sea.
Now 40 days are fully gone. Send a raven, I will anon. If anywhere on earth, tree or stone, dry in any place. And if this fowl come not again, it is a sign, truth to say, that dry it is on hill or plain, and God have done some grace. Ah, Lord, where may this raven be? Somewhere it's dry, well I see. But yet a dove, by my faith, after I will send. Thou wilt return again to me. For of all fowls that fly, thou art most meek and noble. Ah! Blessed be thou, eh? That me has comforted us today. By this sight I may well say, the flood begins to cease. My sweet dove to me has brought a branch of olive from some place. This signifies God has done us some grace, and is a sign of peace. Ah, Lord, honoured must thou be. All earth dries now, I see. But yet, till thou command me, hence I will not heed. All this water is away, therefore, soon as I may, sacrifice I shall do in faith to thee devoutly.
Noah, take thy wife anon and thy children, every one, and on the ship they will be gone, and all they with thee. Beasts and all that can fly, how quickly they shall die, on earth to grow and multiply. I will that it so be.
Lord, I thank thee through thy might. Thy bidding shall be done in height. And as fast as I may die, I will do thee honour and offer thee sacrifice. Therefore now I am bound, my wife, my children, and my many, to honour thee with full devotion.
Noah, to me thou art full able, and thy sacrifice acceptable. For I have found thee true and stable, of thee must I have mind. Afflict earth I will no more, for man's sins that grieves me sore. For of youth man full yore has been inclined to sin. Ye shall now grow and multiply, and earth again to edify. An agreement, Noah, with thou I made, and all thy descendants, for thy sake, from such vengeance for to slake, for now I have my will. Here I pledge an S, that man, woman, fowl, nor beast, with water while this world shall last, I will no more spill. My bow between you and me in the firmament shall be, by true tokening that you may see that man nor woman shall never more be destroyed by water as hath before. But for sin that grieveth me sore, therefore this vengeance was. Where clouds in the sky have been, that same bow shall be seen, in tokening that my wrath and teen shall never thus avenged be. The string is turned towards you, and towards me is bent the bow, but such weather shall never show, and this I promise thee. My blessing now I give thee here, to thee, Noah, my servant dear, for vengeance shall no more appear. And now, farewell, my darling dear.